Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain's Brunswick property is located in the Rideout Shear Zone in Ontario, with grab samples running as high as 32 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program to test numerous targets located by recent groundwork is planned for early 2018. Please visit our website at rmroyalty.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sean Brodrick, Senior Analyst for the EdelstenInstitute.com. Welcome back to the show, Sean.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Hope Santa had a good time at your house?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm of the age where I don't want anything. So, my wife was feeling kind of the same way, though I did buy her jewelry because I'm not an idiot. What we did was we gave each other books that we had bought in the past year and hadn't read, and so we wrapped them up for each other and like we gave them to each other. So, all the books that I've been meeting this past year, I actually got them again this Christmas with extra urgency. So that's good.
Yeah, slippers, socks, and underwear. Yeah, we're terrifically adventurous here. Sean, the business news people are saying the marijuana space is likely the business story of the year. Would you agree?
Yes, I would. I have to say that subscribers to my Marijuana Millionaire newsletter, they've been writing in saying the nicest possible things. I mean, I could tell you how much one guy wrote to me and said he made on one trade in there, but it would sound insane. So let's just say that there are some drivers in that area that are just phenomenal. One is that in a few days, California is going to become legal, and that's the 7th biggest economy in the world. It's huge, bigger than India, and I mean, that's just a tremendous driver, and that's a real driver for many U.S. marijuana leveraged stocks that had been trailing the Canadian leveraged marijuana stocks for quite some time, but now they're starting to play catch up. And then, of course, we have the news that in the summer, Canada is going to legalize recreational marijuana. Now, it was supposed to be July 1st. However, your Prime Minister Trudeau said that he doesn't know why anyone got fixated on that date. He just had an interview last week where he said that. So that actually worries me that it isn't going to be July 1st. And I don't know if that has actually worked its way into the food chain yet. So we'll have to see how that goes. But sometime in the summer, Canada is going to legalize recreational use of marijuana. And so those two things are driving the markets now. And there's a lot of companies, we can have discussions over whether things are overpriced or not, but people are just, looking at things and saying, look, these companies can actually ramp up rather quickly as long as there's not interference on a federal level in the U.S., they can do extraordinarily well. We have seen what's happened on a state-by-state level. Nevada is now bringing in more money than Colorado, and Colorado is bringing in more tax money than it really knows what to do with from marijuana. So, when you look at these things, there are still plenty of great opportunities in this space, and we intend to make the most of it.
Statistics Canada estimates that $6.2 billion worth of marijuana was sold in 2016. That's a whole lot more than what the provincial and federal governments think that they'll make.
Yeah, well, I mean, we won't know until they do. However, and there is stuff that's good and bad from this. For one thing, there is the gray market and the black market, which becomes legalized. So you get that tax revenue. On the other hand, there are actually plenty of businesses that make money from the marijuana industry that may not realize it. This includes car dealerships, sports equipment, all sorts of stuff, where these people who live an extravagant lifestyle have really been able to whoop it up. And now their business is going to be legal, it's going to be taxed. They might not be able to make the money, someone else might, so there could be an adjustment there too. It might not be all good. So we'll have to see how it goes. I still think it's really exciting. I think the potential is enormous, especially with marijuana tourism. I think Canada has a real opportunity there because Canada is a lovely country anyway. I mean, people like to go there and have fun. It's a beautiful place to actually be and do things. So I think once they add marijuana to the attractions that Canada has to offer, that'll only increase tourism. So there's some good stuff there too.
Yes, and all this panic talk I keep seeing from provinces like Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Now, you'd think that there'd been riots in Colorado and Washington State and Oregon when they legalized it. When I called people there a year later, did you see any difference on the street? Was crime, rampant everywhere? They said life was the same afterwards as it was before.
Right, I know.
And what's more, the people who don't smoke marijuana now are unlikely to start smoking it once it's legal.
Yeah. They've also found that it's not increasing smoking among kids, that they actually sent in undercover people to try and purchase marijuana illegally. They didn't get one sale. It's like there's a whole bunch of things. The worst problem they have is smuggling, where marijuana is smuggled out of, say, Colorado to states where it's not legal. But once they legalize it, that problem's going to go away. So, we'll just see how things go. I think that my subscribers are certainly happy with that, but there's a lot of things to be happy with. I mean, the broad market was down today, but I'll tell you, gold and silver were up. We should talk about that. There was an important bottom in gold on December 12th, and those stocks have been moving up nicely, the good ones, ever since. Those are up. Energy metals were up, especially North American cobalt plays, and we have some of those in our supercycle investor portfolio. Let me tell you, those things are ramping up big time. They're starting to look like missiles. So there is some real opportunity in this market. I know that we keep hearing that, things are overbought. We've had this huge rally. It's the second longest in a long time and all that stuff. But certain areas went up. For example, tech really led like the last big rally. Maybe it's not tech that's going to go higher from here. Maybe it's something else. I can show you a chart. In fact, I intend to post it later this week showing how undervalued commodities are compared to stocks. And it is phenomenal.
And
when
Sean,
you look at the bargains.
And Sean, we'll talk about that right after we take this commercial break.
Oh, sure. Well, thanks for stopping me. You know how I go on.
Oh, there is no stopping you. We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after this.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon. Trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the pink symbol ABN-AF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
I'm Larry Ray, President and CEO of American Manganese, Inc., listed on the TSX Venture, ticker symbol AMY, A-M-Y, with proprietary patents in the U.S., China, and South Africa. Our focus is on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. China recently legislated the responsibility for recycling onto their electric vehicle manufacturers and importers. For more information, please visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. Sean, I've noticed the price of copper has been surprisingly high for this time of year. Has it surprised you?
Well, I was one of the people saying that copper should go higher. And the copper space actually got some good news over the long weekend, or I should say bullish news. One is that one of the biggest copper producers in China had to shut down because of pollution. So I think that's actually, people have seen that coming, so they've kind of priced that in. We'll have to see how copper behaves from now on. And the other is that Chinese imports of actual finished copper are up nicely year over year. So you put those two things together and you see why copper broke out and pushed above that high that it made back in back in October. So That's quite bullish, quite bullish. And, you know, we can talk about the other metals too. Palladium just has that freaking streak, keeps going higher. Platinum's off its bottom. And gold and silver, I mean, just really looking strong lately, you know? I mean, now, we are in a seasonal time when we expect gold can do well, not over the long history, but in the shorter term history. This has actually been a good time, and some stocks have also done well. And so I recently put my Super Cycle investor subscribers in some precious metal stocks. That was on the 14th because I saw what was happening on the 12th, and haven't regretted that one yet. And I think it's still early days. The market doesn't believe this rally. The market looks at it and says, oh, something's wrong, and all this stuff. But underneath all that, there's fears of inflation being passed through the system. That's a underlier for things like gold. And also, there's the general realization that the Fed's hands are tied as to how much it can actually raise interest rates. So, as long as real rates stay low, and they're low now, gold can do, rather well. And so, I think it's a good time for the precious metals. And that said, I was just telling my subscribers this today. I think I told them gold and silver are on a hot streak, but energy metals and cannabis are even hotter, you know. So this brings us back to what we were talking about earlier, is that there are good places to be in this market. And many of them are commodities. And it's simply because commodities, in relation to stocks, this is a generational low that we're at right now. I mean, commodities are dirt cheap. And so as people in the markets look for value, and we can have arguments about how high the market can go. I think it can go higher. I think the broad indices like the S&P 500 and like things like that can go higher. But for those people who think it's expensive, then they are going to look at commodities because commodities are cheap relatively. And so there's some real value plays in that area, and we're probably going to see that continue.
We'll have more with Sean Brodrick right after this.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. A work program is planned for our Finland property that contains diamond-bearing kimberlite. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ADD, and the Frankfurt Exchange, symbol 82A1. Please visit our website at arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
Keep informed. Receive our weekly recap of thought-provoking articles, podcasts, and radio delivered to your inbox for free. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage, HowStreet.com. Welcome back. We're speaking with Sean Brodrick. Sean, were you shocked or just mildly surprised that Bitcoin had a major plunge last week?
Well, you know me. I've been talking about I don't understand why it goes up. So am I supposed to know why it goes down? Obviously, I am mystified by everything that happens in it. And, of course, we can't tar all of the cryptocurrencies with the same brush. They're actually quite different. And I really like the blockchain technology underlying it. But, honestly, I don't know why people want cryptocurrencies in the first place. And, yes, this just ticks off my subscribers who have it, and they write in and they're quite vehement about why they believe certain things. But, you look at things and I would not want to invest in that space. I mean, what? It's now $15,000 a coin. That's supposed to be a bargain when, compared to $16,000 a coin. It's still per coin, and it could still fall to 10,000 and that wouldn't raise anybody's eyebrows. So what? You're going to risk half the value of the thing you're investing in that may not have any underlying value at all. So, yes. I mean, we will not convince people who like this kind of thing with any arguments that I can come up with. But I will point out that there are a bunch of real things that are used every day by people that seem to be getting more scarce. If you looked at the action in oil, for example, let's just touch on that market because we haven't talked about that at all. that actually touched $60 today, which was the first time in a long time. Now, this is the U.S. crude oil benchmark I'm talking about. Yes, there are many different benchmarks and all that stuff. But you look at the action in there, it looks like OPEC and that group that's led by Russia working together have really been able to lock down the supply thing. And in the latest count, there was a lack of new rigs coming into the U.S. shale plays too. So you put those things together and you look at rising demand. There is rising demand for oil globally. So you put that together and it's a recipe for higher prices, and that's why my oil stocks are flying higher today. Very nicely. And I think that that's one of the things people will be looking at in the early part of the year is that, again, some of these oil stocks have been beaten down with a cudgel. People got, really used to kicking them around, and there are some incredible values there. If you, in my personal portfolio, I recently picked up 3 different energy stocks that paid what I think are incredible dividends, which are not going to be going away. And I got them at what I think is a real bargain. Now, I could be proven wrong. Maybe they'll get cheaper. But you know what? When they pay that kind of dividend, I can afford to be wrong for a while. As long as they can keep covering that dividend, I will be okay. So, this may be the theme of our talk today, which is value. There is value in the oil space. And I don't see much value in cryptos, but dang, do I see value in the energy space right now. And I think other investors will too. And so if you're looking for value, that's one of the places you'll look. And so I think that that's, something we'll be looking at more in early 2018.
Sean, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you very much. I had a great time. Happy Boxing Day and Happy New Year to all your listeners.
My guest has been Sean Brodrick, Senior Analyst for the EdelstenInstitute.com. You're listening to HowStreet.com radio. Any questions for the show or our guests can be sent to info@HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Best of the season.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of House Street Media Incorporated.